Chris, New York, you're on the Wilkow Majority. Hello.
Yes, hello. I was listening to your rant with great interest. You know, every time I listen to a conservative speak about a capitalist system, they're always talking about the capitalist, but not the system. And that is probably the most important word in that group of words, system. Because without the system, there is no capitalism.
Okay.
And by that I mean everyone, first of all, cannot be rich in a capitalist system.
That is true.
By the very nature of that thing, it's just not possible. Therefore, in this country, we have what we call a socio-capitalist system, which means that we try to take care of that part of the system where people can't be rich, but they're necessary because they have to work to make the capitalist system work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, first of all, that's total nonsense.
No,
And
it's not total
tell me, yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Because what you do is the idea that government subsidizing a business's labor force makes the system better is nonsense. A government can't give something to someone that it first doesn't take from someone else. And who you're taking it from rolls it into the costs that is imposed onto other people. But just, sir, hold on, you just tell me where your little social contract or social offset or socio-capitalist system, where the power to do what it is you think government should do resides within the Constitution.
Under the Constitution, it gives the Congress wide powers.
No, it doesn't, actually. I have it right.
It does.
Well, no,
I've read the Constitution very many times, Mr. Wilkow, and you are not the authority, the end-all authority on the Constitution.
So tell me where you find these authorities. I have it right here in front of me. Just tell me where I can find it.
Welfare? Didn't the Founding Fathers put the general welfare in there? I mean, why?
Hold on, sir. General welfare didn't mean transfer of wealth from one person to another. You're gonna have to be a big boy here and understand when it's your turn to talk. The general welfare clause is followed up by the enumerated powers, which means these are the things the government can do to bring about common defense and general welfare. Not if we're governed by a clause, the rest of the Constitution is totally unnecessary.
The Congress was given that statement, the general welfare, to do with communities in the country. Not only do they have the...
So why did they put the 10th Amendment in there? Hold on. If the federal government was given a wide berth of power to affect communities, why do we have a 10th Amendment?
For certain other protections.
Oh, so there's this wide berth, but we have enumerated powers, but it's including but not limited to, and then there's the stopgap of the 10th Amendment, but for other things that you can't define.
Listen, you think the federal government should only provide defense and nothing else.
No, I think it should do all of the things that the Constitution prescribes and nothing more.
Do you realize, first of all, a lot of states would not have highways if everything you believed in was done.
That's not true, sir.
Yes, it is, because a lot of states don't put enough money in taxes to the federal government.
Then that should be their decision whether or not they build those highways, sir. But then again, post offices and post roads are entirely a federal power. So again, citing the Constitution.
Railroads. A lot of
no, there's no mention of railroads.
And also, like, for instance, Texas, where Fort Hood is the biggest employer in the state. That's federal employees. That's federal money pumped into Texas that keeps the Texas economy going.
Right, and it says right here in the enumerated powers to raise and support armies, to provide and maintain a navy. So, locating a base in Texas is entirely constitutional.
So you're not against defense contractors sucking off the government nipple to make profits, are you?
Well, who else is going to supply the military with its weaponry if not for defense contractors?
Well, that's not all they do. The United States has a large percentage of military contracts with other countries. And that's not in the Constitution. We're not supposed to supply arms to other countries that could be our enemies in the future.
Well, if we're allowing the sale of those arms, meaning if a friendly nation like Canada wants to buy M16s from Colt in Hartford, Connecticut, that's not unconstitutional. It only becomes unconstitutional when, in the absence of a treaty, the government says, here's $1 billion, now go buy weapons.
Oh, no, like F-16s to Saudi Arabia, or...
How is it unconstitutional? How is it unconstitutional for an aerospace or aeronautics company to produce a product for another country, sir?
Because the Constitution, according to your limited view of it, doesn't say that we supply weapons to other countries for their defense.
You're missing the point, sir. There's a difference between the taxpayer purchasing the weapons and the foreign government purchasing from an American producer. There's a huge difference.
That American producer is using taxpayer money to produce that stuff.
How so, sir?
Because they're getting money from the defense budget.
Right. The Defense Department is purchasing that equipment from Lockheed Martin or Grumman or Boeing. They're not getting welfare. They're buying products.
They're paying for the R&D. They're paying for the materials. They're paying people's salaries.
Well, if the federal government wasn't taking that money away from them in the form of profits, the function of profits would provide the money for the research and development. But since the federal government decided that research and development should be done on a grant status, and then to tax for the purpose of that grant status, companies like Boeing have to go begging for their own money back so they can update their equipment.
No.
Keep laughing. Have a nice day. You still don't know what you're talking about.